So how do we get diagnosed or know exactly what's going on when we have thyroid problems? Well, let's talk about some of the tests. There's a couple of things that you can get diagnosed with. A lot of times people get diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which just means that their thyroid function is low. Hypo means under. Or they'll have hyperthyroidism, which means their thyroid function is overactive. But what exactly does that mean? Well, first of all, don't let the doctor stop there. You want to know why. Even if their treatment won't change, and they'll tell you, oh, you don't need to know why because here's a pill. You need to know why because it may change the way you react. And it's always important to know what's going on. Just because it won't change their approach doesn't mean that you don't want to know what's going on with your body. So always ask for more information. So one, most doctors will test something called TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. That is not sufficient. You need to dig deeper. So we want to test TSH, free T4, free T3, and reverse T3 in order to get a full picture of thyroid function. Now you have to fight for those because most doctors will not test all those, especially reverse T3. They claim it means nothing. Translation means they don't know what it means, therefore they don't want to give you the information. There's no reason for them not to test it. So in fact, if they say, oh, I don't want to test it, say, okay, doctor, can you please note in my file that I asked for this test and you refuse to do it. I may be playing hardball, but sometimes we have to do that. Okay, so that'll tell you about hyper, what the function of your thyroid is. Now we want to know why, and that's important. So now we're going to ask for antibody tests. If you have hypothyroidism, if your thyroid is slow, so you're cold, you're gaining weight, you're depressed, anxious, so on, for those things we want to test for two kinds of antibodies. Thyroglobulin, often on a test you'll see it as TG, and thyroid peroxidase, TPO. We want both of those tests because you could be negative for one and positive for the other and you won't know if you only test one. There are times in my life I've been positive for TPO and negative for TG and positive for G and TG and negative for TPO. If we only tested one, we wouldn't know. Positive tests on either one of those will tell you of Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disorder where your own immune system attacks your thyroid and that causes hypothyroidism. If it's hyper, if you feel like your thyroid's going too fast and you've been diagnosed as hyper, then you want to test something called TSHR, thyroid stimulating hormone receptor. If you have antibodies to that, it's called Graves' disease. Again, your immune system's attacking your thyroid and causing it to overreact. So again, TSH, free T4, not total, free. Free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and the antibodies. For Hashimoto's, that's TPO and TG. For Graves' disease, that is TSHR.